According to regulations pertaining to privileges and limitations, a private pilot may not be paid in any manner for the operation expenses of a flight, be paid for not paid, that one. When running low-level wind shear be expected? When will low-level wind shear be expected? In areas of passing frontal systems, thunderstorms, temperature inversions, and strong upper wind levels. Following frontal passages when stratocumulus clouds form, indicating mechanical mixing. When stable air crosses a mountain barrier. I think it's that. Stable air crosses a mountain barrier where it tends to flow in layers forming. No, that's wave. In areas of passing frontal systems, thunderstorm. It's gotta be that one. Yeah, thank God. I'm gonna star that one. It's a tough one. Steady precipitation preceding a front is an indication of cumuloform clouds with little to no turbulence. Stratiform clouds with moderate turbulence. Stratiform clouds with little to no turbulence. Steady precipitation preceding a front is an indication of cumuloform clouds with little to no turbulence. I don't think it's that, because cumuloform clouds usually have turbulence. That's what we use for thermals. Stratiform clouds with moderate turbulence. I think it's little to no turbulence. Yeah, stratiform clouds with little to no turbulence. So I just used, for this one, like the basic. There's two variables in each answer, and the one with the most shared variables. So that's all I went with for that one. And I knew there was little to no turbulence, because steady precipitation is little to no turbulence. VFR flight in controlled airspace above 12,000 feet AGL and below 10,000 feet MSL minimum. MSL requires a minimum visibility in controlled airspace. VFR flight in controlled airspace above 1,200 feet. I think it's 3 statute miles. Yeah, 3 statute miles, 500 below, 1,000 away. Shit. Okay. Visibility and vertical cloud clearance. Okay. Yeah, 3 miles, 500 below, 1,000 above in controlled airspace. Yes! Oh, I'm so awesome. Ooh, I wanna star that one anyway. It's a good one. If you experience tunnel vision and cyanosis, you may have symptoms of hypoxia, hyperventilation, carbon monoxide poisoning. I want to say carbon monoxide poisoning, but it could be hypoxia. They're very similar. I said carbon monoxide poisoning. I was wrong. It's hypoxia. Hypoxia is a state of oxygen deficiency in the body sufficient to impair functions of the brain and other organs. Hypoxia from exposure to altitude is due to the reduced barometric pressure encountered at altitude, for the concentration of oxygen in the atmosphere remains about 21% from the ground out to space. What? Why did that not make sense? Due to the reduced barometric pressures encountered at altitude, for the concentration of oxygen in the atmosphere remains about 21% of the ground out to space. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why. Although deterioration in night vision may occur at cabin pressure altitude at as low as 5,000 feet, other significant effects of altitude hypoxia usually do not occur in the normal healthy pilot below 12,000 feet. From 12,000 to 15,000 feet of altitude, judgment, memory, alertness, coordination, and ability to make calculations are impaired, and headache, drowsiness, dizziness, and a sense of well-being, euphoria, or belligerence occur. These effects appear following increasing shorter periods of exposure to increasing altitude. At cabin pressures above 50,000 feet, the vision field grays out to a point where only central vision remains, tunnel vision. A blue colorization, cyanosis of the fingernails. Oh, I thought he was talking about the vision for some reason. Okay. Colorization of the fingernails and lips develops. That makes sense. And the ability to take corrective and protective action is lost in 20 to 30 minutes at 18,000 feet and 5 to 10 minutes at 20,000 feet. Okay, next. First one wrong. One had a 9 wrong. So if we extrapolate on that, that's like, oh, let's see what we get out of 10. What time do thermals begin to form? Oh, I hate this question. This is a telephone weather briefing from the Dallas FSS to local operation of gliders and lighter than air at Caddo Mills, Texas, about 30 miles east of Dallas. The briefing is at 13 Zulu. There is no adverse conditions reported for the forecast today. A weak low pressure over the Texas Panhandle and eastern New Mexico is causing a weak southerly flow over the area. Currently, the weather here at Dallas is wind south at 5 knots, visibility 12 miles, clear, temperature 21, dew point 9, altimeter 29.78. By 15 Zulu, we should have a few scattered cumulonimbus clouds at 5,000 AGL with a higher scattered cirrus at 25,000 MSL. After the 20 Zulu, the wind should pick up to around 15 knots from the south. The winds aloft are 3,170 at 7. Okay, temperature 26,200 at 18. Temperature 14. 9,210 at 22. Temperature 8. Okay, so we're going to read the question again. We're going to read the answers and then look through this. What time will thermals begin to form? Between 13 Zulu and 15 Zulu when the sky is clear. About 20 Zulu early afternoon when the wind begins to increase. By 15 Zulu mid-morning when the scattered clouds begin to form. It's got to be 13 Zulu to 15 Zulu because it literally doesn't make, yeah, it is. I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense to me. The briefing is at 13 Zulu. That's so stupid. It's such a stupid question. Stable air mass is most likely to have which characteristic? Turbulent air, smooth air, showery precipitation. Stable air mass is smooth air. Could be showery. Smooth air. Correct. Where is the available landing distance data for an airport that utilizes land and hold short operations published? Probably the chart supplementals. Yes, chart supplementals. What is density altitude? The altitude read directly from the altimeter. The height above the standard datum plane. The pressure altitude corrected for non-standard temperature. Shit. Okay. Why do I always get this wrong? Directly from the altimeter is not, should be height above the standard datum plane. It's the pressure corrected for non-standard temperature. Okay, let's write these definitions. True altitude. MSL is true altitude. height above sea level. Absolute altitude. The height of which an aircraft. Oh, it's ASL. AGL, yeah. AGL. That's easy. Absolute is A. Okay. Indicated, which is altitude read directly from the altimeter. And pressure altitude. Height above the standard datum plane, theoretical level. Well, we'll just write the definition. The pressure altitude corrected for non-standard temperature. This doesn't answer the question at all. Density altitude. Okay. Height above standard datum plane, or the weight of the and then density altitude. I should be able to logic my way through that. Density altitude, because we say in airplanes, we say it's a high density altitude day. And that's normally when it's hot out. That's a high density altitude day. So I should be able to figure out that it's corrected for non-standard temperature. Pressure altitude corrected for non-standard temperature. It makes sense. I don't know why I corrected. Temperature. I need to call it Daniel. Going to the airport diagram, which one of these is true? I hate these. These are so stupid. The takeoff, landing portion of runway 12 begins at position A. It's a displaced threshold. You're not supposed to land. No, that's not true. Okay. Runway 30 is equipped with a position D and an emergency arresting gear to provide a means of stopping military aircraft. Bro, that's not what it is. But if that's what it is, it's so stupid. Takeoffs may be started at point A on runway 12, and the landing portion of this runway begins at portion B. Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's a displaced threshold question. So we can work our way through that, because I know we're not supposed to land before the displaced threshold. That's like a big no-no. So, makes sense. Flight through a restricted area should not be accomplished unless the pilot has filed an IFR flight plan. No. Received prior authorization from controlling authority. Probably. Received prior permission from the commanding officer. No. Yeah. No commanding officer. What effects would gust and turbulence have over the load factor of a glider with changes in airspeed? What effects would gusts and turbulence have on the load? It increases load factor. Load factor increases as airspeed increases. Yep. That one you can kind of logic through. the load's not going to be lower at a higher airspeed. Also, when you're flying gliders and there's a certain range in your speed where you're not supposed to operate in bank maneuvers and stuff. Your cousin wants you to take him flying. You must have at least 3 takeoffs and 3 landings in your aircraft in the preceding 90 days. Altimeter 3, this is the easy. I can't believe I got this question. Altimeter 3 indicates less than 10,000 feet, and it's 9,500 feet. What is the correct traffic pattern departure procedure for a non-towered airport? Depart in any direction consistent with safety after crossing the airport boundary. Comply with the FAA traffic patterns established for the airport. Yes. Select the proper traffic pattern for landing. Okay, I like to draw these out. I don't know why. Okay, runway 18. Runway 36. Runway 22 and 4 are not available. I guarantee they will be mentioned in the question. So, I find that it is best practice to just write all this out anyway. So, on runway 18, we are using a right-hand traffic pattern. On runway 36, we are using a left-hand traffic pattern. On runway 22, we are using a left-hand traffic pattern. On runway 4, we are using a right-hand traffic pattern. Simple enough. Now we just look at these answers and see which one corresponds to ours. Left-hand traffic pattern for 18, no. Right-hand traffic pattern for 18. Yep, that's what we got. Left-hand traffic pattern for 22. We also have that. But I'm going to say it's that one because you're not supposed to land on 22 anyway. And I think that's probably why. So that was right. Left-hand traffic pattern for 22. Let's see. Yeah, so left-hand traffic pattern for runway 22 was correct, but runway 22 is closed, so that's not the right answer. What minimum pilot certification is required for operation in Class B airspace? Bro, anything, whatever you want. Private, recreational, or sport pilot or student pilot certificate with appropriate logbook endorsements. Yep. Whoever they want. In the northern hemisphere, the magnetic compass will normally indicate a turn to the south when, okay, so we know the moniker ANDS. ANDS. Add north, decrease south. So in the northern hemisphere, if your magnetic compass will normally indicate a turn towards the south. Oh shit. Yeah, we got it. So that's ANDS. So northern hemisphere, magnetic compass will indicate a turn to the south if your aircraft is decelerated. Yep, add north, decrease south. And then the dip errors, we need to remember those. And we should remember WEANDS, west-east heading. and the turning errors. So northerly turning errors, center of gravity flow assembly. The aircraft turns, that force results. Magnetic dip causes the float assembly to swing the same direction as the float turns. Okay, next problem. So we got 2 questions wrong out of 21. What's our current grade? We're going to grade this 2 divided by. We'll just do it's 19. We got a 90. Sitting at a hot 90 right now. Can we keep it? I don't know. Probably not. Okay, VOR question. The VOR is tuned to Jamestown VOR. The aircraft is positioned over Cooperstown Airport. Which VOR indication is correct? Okay, so first let's just look at, I think I remember how to do this. Look at areas 4 and 2. See, you have to answer the other questions fast so you can do this. Okay, we're over Jamestown and we're heading towards, let me write some of this down. Over Jamestown to Cooperstown. And we're looking at areas 4 and 2. And then we're going to have to choose our proper VOR. Okay, so positioned over Jamestown, heading to Cooperstown. Read the question again. VOR is tuned to Jamestown. The aircraft is positioned over Coopersburg. So I'm wrong. Okay, so positioned over Cooperstown, flying to Jamestown. Make sure you read the question again, Joey. Okay. Positioned over Cooperstown, flying to Jamestown. So that the angle here is like, can we get an exact angle on it? Should be able to. It's like 30. It's like nearly 34 degrees. It's like right around 34 degrees. Oh, but it's negative. So what is that? $180 plus 30. We'll call it 37. $210. Is that about right? Yeah, that looks about right. So our heading should be to 210 degrees. Our VOR is going to look something like this. Well, it could, we don't know what it could look like. It could look like a number of things, but we have to, which VOR indication is correct? Where are the VOR indications? It doesn't show them. It doesn't show our VOR. Oh, there's 2 figures. Okay, I see. Oof. Oh my god, there's 9 VORs. Damn, dude, what the hell? Okay, is anyone... Oh, there we go. It's VOR 2. I'm almost positive it's VOR 2. Ooh. No, it's VOR 2. It's gotta be. In the northern hemisphere, an aircraft is accelerated or decelerated. The magnetic compass will normally indicate a turn momentarily when changes in speed on any heading. A turn to the south when accelerating on a west heading. Turn correctly when on a north-south heading. Yeah, correctly on a north-south heading when accelerating or decelerating. So the important thing to remember about this question, in the northern hemisphere, if an aircraft is accelerating or decelerating, the magnetic compass will normally indicate is our moniker we ands. West east heading. Add north, decrease south. So the answer correctly when on a north-south heading makes sense. That's right. The definition of nighttime. The time between the end of civil twilight and the beginning of evening civil The time between the end of evening civil twilight and the beginning of morning civil twilight. 1 hour after sunset to 1 hour before sunrise. Sunset to sunrise. I'm going to say 1 hour after to an hour before. Of course, it's the civil. Okay. The time between the end of evening civil twilight and the beginning of morning civil twilight. So, sunset, civil dusk, nautical dusk, astrological. What is the lowest altitude permitted for acrobatic flight? 1,000 feet AGL. Probably 2,000 feet. Damn. 1,500 feet AGL. Safety belts are required to be properly secured about which persons in aircraft and when. Each person on board during the entire flight. Passengers during taxi, takeoff, and landings only. Pilots only during takeoffs and landings. An approved synthetic parachute. Synthetic is key here, and it's 180 days, I think. Maybe carried. Yeah, 180 days. An approved synthetic parachute may be carried in an aircraft for emergency use if it has been packed by an approved rated parachute rigger within the preceding 180 days. An experienced pilot trying to meet a schedule can expect the flight crew to alert them to problems or areas of concern, will always err on the side of caution, can fail to perceive operational pitfalls. I think this one's obvious. Yeah. So, from our old rating at 21 questions of 90, we're now at 4 wrong at 29. So what is that? It's an 86. We're still doing okay. Not bad. Cumulonimbus mama clouds are associated with dissipating stage of thunderstorms, violet thunderstorms or tornadoes, the cumulus stage of a thunderstorm. This is so silly. It's a mama, so it's mature. So maybe it's dissipating. Wrong. Violent thunderstorms and tornadoes. Mama clouds. Mama clouds are violent. They're gonna kick your ass. Okay, fair. The correct method of stating 4,500 feet MSL to air traffic control is 4,500. Yeah, 4,500, of course. To cope with spatial disorientation, pilots should rely on proficient use of aircraft instruments. Yeah, we should read all the answers there. Body sensations and outside visual references. That's probably a close second, but body sensations makes you think it's an immediate no. Adequate food, rest, and night adaptation. I mean, you can't rely your spatial disorientation on adequate food. That seems strange. So, proficient use of aircraft instruments. A glider's max auto winch tow is 66 miles an hour. The surface wind gradient is 5. The wind gradient is 4. So, when the glider reaches 200 feet, the auto winch tow should be. So what we do here is we take the max, we subtract everything, and we subtract 10 more for safety. 66 minus 5 minus 4 minus 10. It's 47. Awesome. What is a characteristic of stable air? Stratocumulus clouds, unlimited visibility, cumulus clouds, stratiform clouds. The top of group obstructions approximately 12 nautical miles from the Savannah VORTAC on the 008 radial is. This is so silly. Savannah, do we have a 008 radial? No. Not specifically. How far is 12 nautical miles? This question is like something else. Okay. That's 1 degree. So it's like around here. Alright, we're gonna have to measure this. The top of group obstructions. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. That's 10 nautical miles. Just like we'll say 3 inches is 12 nautical miles because that seems about right. Savannah. And I'll say that's about 12. Ooh. 559 feet. Is that an option? No. So, yeah, that's a weird question. Because it says the top of the group of the obstructions, and it has one obstruction just south of the 12 nautical miles, and it's 559 feet MSL. But the 459 feet MSL obstruction is like just north of it. I don't know. It's okay. I'll take it. At least they were nice that they didn't put 559 on the answer sheet, so I should know that wasn't it. Most pilots have fallen prey to dangerous tendencies of behavior problems at some time. Some of these dangerous tendencies or behavioral problems must be identified and eliminated include performance deficiencies from human factors such as fatigue, illness, or emotional problems. Yeah, that's a big one. Peer pressure, get-there-itis, a loss of positional or situational awareness, and operating without adequate fuel reserves. Sure. Deficiencies in instrument skills and knowledge of aircraft systems or limitations. These are all right. If it says Some of these dangerous tendencies or behavior patterns must be identified and eliminated. I'm going to say it's peer pressure get-there-itis. Yeah. The other two are right also, but they're not. I guess they're not really behavioral patterns. Prior to becoming certified as a private pilot with a glider rating, the pilot must have in his or her possession what type of medical? Medical is not required. Yep, medical is not required. Unless each occupant is provided with supplemental oxygen, no person may operate a civil aircraft of United States Registry above the maximum cabin pressure of, okay, the answers are 14,000 feet MSL, 15,000, 12,500. I think it's 14,000 feet MSL, and I like to remember that. It's like the mountains in Colorado. Wrong. 15,000. Fuck. It's weird. Some of these rules, like supplemental oxygen must be used. Okay. Recommended above 10,000 feet at all times. Night above 5,000 feet. Recommended. Required for pilots all flight time in excess of 30 minutes is 14,000 or 12,501 feet to 14,000 feet. Pilots all time 14,000 feet to 15,000 feet. Pilots and passengers, all occupants at all times, is above 15,000 feet. Oh no, A Shakti. Okay. So let's check our average right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wrong in 38 questions. That's 32 divided by 38. We're still rocking in 84. Not bad. Passing. Which marking indicates a vehicle lane? This should be easy. I think it's C. Yeah. Cool. What effects do clouds mentioned in the weather briefing have on soaring conditions? These are so... Okay. This is a telephone weather briefing from the Dallas FSS in a local operation in gliders and lighter than airs in Cotton Mill, Texas, 30 miles east of Dallas. The briefing is at 13 Zulu. There is no adverse conditions reported on the forecast today. A weak low pressure over the Texas Panhandle and eastern New Mexico is causing weak southerly flow in the area. Current weather here at Dallas is wind south 5 knots, visibility 12 miles clear. Temperature 21, dew point 9, altimeter 29.78. So this is probably the part we're looking at. Let's read the question again. What effects do clouds mentioned in the weather briefing have on soaring conditions? By 15 Zulu, we should have scattered cumuloform clouds at 5,000 feet AGL with higher scattered cirrus at 25,000 MSL. Well, I know scattered cirrus shuts down thermal production. It signifies like stable air mass. After 20 Zulu, wind should pick up to around 15 knots. So soaring conditions are not good. Scattered clouds indicate thermals to top out at least to the top of the lower clouds. Thermals persist to the top of the clouds at 25,000 feet. That's not true. All thermals stop at the base of the clouds. It's probably this one. Scattered clouds indicate thermals to at least the tops of the lower clouds. Yep. Makes sense. That is correct. Under what condition, if any, may a pilot fly through a restricted area? Let's see. Okay, you answer this one. Under what condition, if any, may a pilot fly through a restricted area? A, with the controlling authority's authorization. B, when flying on airways with ATC clearance. C, regulations do not allow this. course, it's either A or B, Shakti. That's the whole point. It's a test. AV. FAA exams always have two very close answers that are almost right, and then one that sucks. Okay, read the question again. Under what conditions, if any, may pilots fly through restricted area? A, with the controlling agency's authorization. B, when flying on airways with an ATC clearance. C, regulations do not allow this. I know what I'm thinking. I want to hear what you're thinking. It's A or B for sure. I'm thinking B. You're thinking A. I could be wrong. It's A. Yep, it's A. With the controlling agency's authorization. You're right. Oh my God, this picture here is this is an Area 51 joke on the. I will show it. Come on. Can you see the little alien there? It says Google Grom Lake if you don't know what we're referring to. I feel like I should do that. You should honestly take the test. I feel like you should logic your way through it and get at least a passing grade. Especially, I have the program. If you studied for like an afternoon, you could take the test with me, but it's $100. I think you'd do fine. I think you'd probably get it, honestly. Which best describes the flight conditions under which flight crew members are specifically required to keep their safety belts and shoulder harnesses fastened? Safety belts during takeoff and landing while en route, shoulder harnesses during takeoff and landing, safety belts during takeoff and landing, shoulder harnesses during takeoff and landing. Yeah, it's that one. Safety belts during takeoff and landing, shoulder harnesses during takeoff and landing, and while en route. It's B. It's not. It's A. What the hell? Safety harnesses or safety belts during takeoff and landing, and while en route, shoulder harnesses during takeoff and landing. Which best describes the flight conditions under which flight crew members. That's the key I missed. No, you can take the test with no hours. I suck. Yeah, you don't have to do any. A lot of flight schools actually want you to take the test before you even get in an airplane. On what frequency can a pilot receive hazardous in-flight weather advisory systems services in the vicinity of Area 1? So this is a chart looking at Area 1. Okay, I think I've taken this question before. And I remember it being very weird. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, here it is. I found it. Haha. 117.1. Yay. Bye. Love you. No person may take off or land under basic VFR at an airport that lies within Class D airspace unless ground visibility at that airport is at least 1 mile. Oh. Flight visibility at that airport is at least 1 mile. Ground visibility at that airport is at least 3 miles. Oh. 3 miles. I'm sucking now. Chair type synthetic parachute. Must have been synthetic. 180 days. Reliance on electric navigation may cause a pilot to lose proficiency in alternate ways of navigating. Increases pilot workload. Increases electronic navigation skills. By visual reference. How should an aircraft pre-flight inspection be accomplished for the first flight of the day? Any sequence as determined by the pilot in command. Thorough and systematic means recommended by the manufacturer. Yep. Which airport is fixed-wing special VFR not allowed? This is ridiculous. This is a crazy chart. Which airports is special? Fixed wing special VFR not allowed. No special VFR. Dallas Fort Worth International. Easy. Once pilot in command accepts a land and hold short clearance, the clearance must be adhered to just as any air traffic control clearance unless an amended clearance is obtained or an emergency occurs. The wind changes on an available landing distance decreases, available landing distance decreases, or density altitude increases. Emergency occurs. What should a glider pilot do if a tow line breaks below 200 feet AGL? Land straight ahead or make a slight turn to reach a suitable landing area. Turn into the wind? No. Turn away from the wind? No. Land straight ahead. Lack of orientation with regards to position, altitude, or movement of the aircraft in space is defined as spatial disorientation. Convective circular patterns associated with sea breezes are caused by convective circular patterns associated with sea breezes are caused by land absorbing the radiating heat faster than the water, water absorbing the radiating heat faster than the land, cool and less dense air moving inland over the water, causing it to rise. No, it's not that one. Yeah, that's the only one that makes sense. I'm gonna star that one. Moisture is added to air by evaporation and sublimation. Under what conditions will true altitude be lower than indicated altitude? These we're getting all sorts of fun texts. In colder than standard air temperature. Okay, I need to think about this one. Under what conditions will true altitude be lower than indicated altitude? True altitude is MSL, height above sea level. If it's colder or if it's warmer. If it's colder, let me think. Under what conditions will true altitude be lower? So my indicated altitude is reporting high. My indicated altitude is reporting high. It's colder. Yeah, it's colder. It's cool. Okay. An aircraft said to be inherently stable will not spin, require less effort to control, be difficult to stall. Require less effort to control. Yeah, it's gonna stall. It's gonna spin. If an alteration or repair substantially affects an aircraft's operation in flight, the aircraft must be tested, flown by an appropriately rated pilot, and approved for return to service prior to being operated by any private pilot for compensation or hire with passengers aboard. With passengers aboard. Okay. Balloon drifts over the town of Atkinson with a magnetic course of 0.014 at 10 miles per hour. If wind conditions remain constant, where will the balloon be after 2 hours and 30 minutes? Okay. Area 5. It's a weird question, to be honest. Balloons. But I guess it's just figuring out my flight knowledge. Town of Atkinson. 014 is like air. It's going 10 miles an hour, so it's going 25 miles. So what is that in nautical miles? Can we get standard miles? Ugh. Okay. These things like don't work. Can I do this? Oops. Okay. Okay. Let's go from, where was it? Shoot. Oh, Atkinson. Okay. From there that's probably directly north. 12. Let's measure this. Oh, shoot. Okay. We're going 25 miles. It's going to be over the town of Walham. Yeah, over the town of Walham. East of Walham. Glider's max auto winch tow speed is 73 miles an hour. Surface winds 11. Wind surface gradients 6. So let's calculate that out. Remember, it's just going to be max minus all the numbers they give you minus 10 more. 46. The difference found by subtracting the temperature of a parcel of air theoretically lifted from the surface to 500 millibars and the existing temperature of 500 millibars is called the positive index, lifted index, negative index. Positive index, lifted index. Okay. What's the first step in neutralizing a hazardous attitude in the ADM process? Dealing with improper judgment, recognition of the hazardous thought. Yeah, that's it. And let's just do this question and then submit it and see what our grade would be for passing or failing. As standard operating practice, all inboard traffic to an airport without a control tower should continuously monitor the appropriate facility from a distance of all inbound traffic to an airport without a control tower. I don't know. 10 miles? Yeah. That's great. 81. Oh my God.